How are thousands of Americans staying warm this winter for free? A former police officer just discovered how to heat homes for almost zero cost, and rich energy executives are trying their hardest to make it illegal in the US. He built a device that rapidly warms homes for barely a dime, and at this rate, everyone in America will have one of these by 2025. Here's why. The story began 6 months ago. Roger Williams, a 43-year-old police officer, was born in Detroit, where temperatures can plummet to minus 15 degrees during winter. Roger comes from a proud family of police officers. They were beloved by the little town they served, but Roger's story would be different.
This year, during one of the biggest BLM protests the country has ever seen, I was on the front lines protecting homes and businesses in my beloved town of Farmington Hills. We saved many of my neighbors' homes and businesses. Unfortunately, many were destroyed by looters. When I came home after a long day of service, battered and bruised, I was shocked at what I saw. The house I worked so hard for, the house I thought I'd raise my 2 beautiful daughters in, the house I thought my wife and I would grow old in, was burned to the ground by protesters passing through my neighborhood. We were lucky that no one was at home. The thought of my wife and daughter's hurt tore me up inside. The next day I went to work exhausted, but I was met with more bad news. The police chief pulled me aside to a room and said, "Roger, we have to let you go. We're facing demands from the media to punish you. While you were driving away to avoid getting hurt, a protester fell off your car. Someone caught it on camera and posted it on social media. It went viral. I heard about what happened to your home. I'm so sorry it has to be this way."
With nowhere else to call home, Roger and his family were forced to live in a homeless shelter, just before the brutal winter.
I felt so hopeless, I couldn't look my wife in the eye. I had let my family down.
When Roger and his young family arrived at the shelter, they were stunned by what they saw.
People were getting horribly sick left and right. It was icy cold in the dark, even with the central heating unit working overtime. Seconds before I fell asleep, a bolt of lightning hit me. My best friend David, a kind man, worked for SpaceX as a heating engineer. He may be able to help me and my family stay warm this winter.
After an emotional phone call, David agreed to help. Working alongside David, a former SpaceX engineer who designed the heating system in the Starship, they reverse-engineered the homeless shelter's heating system and discovered 2 fatal flaws. First, it only generates new heat instead of continuously recycling it, like in the heaters inside the Starship. This ends up costing 624% more to heat a room than it should. Even worse, it worsens the air quality by up to 417%, which can lead to asthma attacks, strokes, heart attacks, and even lung disease. With 20 years' experience working on jet engine technology, he long had an ambitious theory he'd always wanted to test. And after seeing energy prices skyrocket to all-time highs, he couldn't wait any longer to put it to the test. Using the Oppenheimer energy principle that powers all major rockets and jet engines, he built a one-of-a-kind device that creates a perpetual heat loop, recycling the heat that's generated so none of it goes to waste. The results were incredible. Under controlled testing, temperatures in freezing rooms soared from 35 to 75 degrees while using 80% less energy than regular home heaters. But the only problem was the heater was slow to act, taking much longer than central heating to warm up rooms. So he continued to work tirelessly on his theory. And 27 prototypes later, he finally struck gold with a device that rapidly heats rooms in under 3 minutes while slashing winter energy bills by a massive 85%. After word got out about what he'd made, investors quickly lined up. David was given over $3 million to bring his device to market, and after months in development, the result of his work is finally here. It's called Toasty Heater, and the response to it has been breathtaking. After hearing the incredible feedback, we had to give it a test, but truth be told, we were skeptical. We've tested dozens of heaters over the years, but most have either been too weak to heat rooms properly or cost too much to run to save on bills. But the device arrived 2 days after ordering, and the first thing we were struck by is just how rapidly it warms up large rooms. Incredible considering its size. But that's not even the most exciting part. When measuring electricity usage, we were stunned. It was able to slash our fuel bills by a staggering 85%, turbo heating rooms using tiny amounts of electricity and recycling warmth so that practically no energy is wasted. We'd struggle to find anything that will save homeowners more money this winter. Lightweight and quiet to run, it's incredibly easy to use. Simply place it in any room, switch it on, and it'll instantly start blasting out masses of warm air, giving rooms an even blanket of heat in under 3 minutes. That's 8 times quicker than most central heating units. It works in rooms up to 700 square feet in size, turning every living space into a warm and cozy environment. Living rooms, bedrooms, offices, 100% warm and toasty. You can stay warm and save so much money at the same time. Do you already have central heating or fan heaters? Use this. It's so much cheaper and much more effective. Families across America are using it to stay warm this winter and save big on bills. Would you like to stay warm for practically zero cost too? If you're thinking about buying, there's good news and bad news. Good news, David is giving it away at a huge discount for first-time buyers. Bad news, he didn't expect such massive demand. There's only 173 units left, and they're going fast. Imagine how much money you'll save compared to your usual home heating bills. Click the link on this video to get Toasty Heater now, and stay warm this winter without paying the price.